My name is Eddie McBride. I'm the President and CEO of the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce, and it's a treat today to have Cheryl and Carrie Mayfield here with Tierras Planas Roasters. They're our Business of the Month, and we're awful proud to have a chance to sit down with them and get them to tell us about themselves, and of course they're in TPR. So Carrie, I want to start with you, and just tell us a little bit about you personally, and then tell us how the company started.
So I'm fortunate to have multiple degrees from Texas Tech and Texas A&M. So we have kind of a split heart between those two schools, but very fortunate to have been able to attend and work through both sets of education that I received. Had a 24-ish year career as a plant breeder. Working for multiple companies and for Texas A&M University in both corn and sorghum. About 3 to 5 years ago, really started falling in love with different coffees from around the world, and had one that just blew my socks off down in Central Texas, and I went, wow. All right, the scientist side of me said, you can do this. Let's have some fun and pick up a new little hobby and play around, and that side of me said, yeah, we're going to do this. And so friends wanted more, and I started roasting for them and roasting more for them and roasting more for them, and it kind of just snowballed into what it is, into my first very small commercial style roaster, just because I didn't want to roast as long as what I was, and then it just snowballed some more into Tierras Planas Roasters.
Well, that's cool. And Cheryl, I know that this has been a journey that both of y'all have had the opportunity to travel on, and it's great to have this opportunity for a team like this. So tell us what your involvement and role and everything else is.
Basically, I kind of serve, I'm the support role. So he's kind of the face of the company, does most of the work behind it. He somewhat calls me his voice of reason. So when it's hey, this sounds like a great idea, we bounce things off of each other, and I tend to be the realist that's like, oh, maybe maybe not quite there, but we're getting there.
Well, y'all
listen to her.
Y'all have traveled the world, especially you, Carrie, as far as your previous job and everything. So tell us how y'all got into sourcing where you would buy your coffee.
So there's a couple different ways we can source coffee. We can source coffee directly from the farmers, or we can source directly from a distributor, an importer. And those guys are in the process, and that's what they're doing. They're out there visiting with all the farmers. They're looking for the highest quality coffees. They're actively working with the farmers and with the processors to improve the quality of the coffee. And that improvement then gets passed on to us. And so coming into the company and into a different industry, I sat back and said, okay, do I want to start building those relationships to be able to source that high quality coffee, or do I want to work with somebody that's already got those relationships in place? And so I decided to go with the importer distributor model on the start. So we worked with 2, 3-ish, in conversations with a couple of farmer importers right now on trying to work on getting some of their products into our lineup and seeing how we can work and get that worked out with them, to have that more direct relationship with the farmer at that gate.
Well, that's very interesting to see how that business model developed for you as well. So Cheryl, you're the practical side of this. Tell me how y'all decide. Do y'all taste together, and how do y'all actually decide?
That's an interesting question. I'm not actually that much of a coffee drinker, so most of that really falls to Carrie.
The scientist.
I mean, he does the tasting, and we rely a lot on friends and some of my coworkers, but those in the community that we've met through different avenues that we do know enjoy coffee, and he does the majority of it, but if he gets to a point where there's something he's not sure about, we bring people in and invite people to come to the tastings. And
so you get to direct the tasting, and how that goes.
We do, and she becomes my taste of, oh, no way.
Yeah,
absolutely, because if it doesn't pass her,
then
it doesn't go anywhere.
It's not going
to go anywhere. And with that, we get to have, at times, depending on when school's in session, our 15-year-old son helps out quite a bit too. And while he doesn't drink a whole lot of coffee, he will go through the tastings with us and sit there through the entire process and write down what flavor tones he's experiencing, what negative things he's hitting. And so it's a lot of fun to see his reaction on some of those coffees, and then to look at some of the notes that he's taken versus some of the notes I've taken, and when he comes back later and wasn't able to enjoy one with me, goes, wait a second, you had this? Yes, we had this.
Oh, that's a cool story. Good thing that you've got him involved as well, because that gives him something to widen his horizons as he's growing up as well. So
That it does. 2 years ago, we were at Coffee Fest in Indianapolis.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, we were at Coffee Fest in Indianapolis, and we lost him. We couldn't find him. So he's 15 now, he's 12-ish, and we finally made it out to this one spot. One of the coffee roasting equipment suppliers was there with a truck that had roasters in there, and he was in there roasting. so that
Anytime he was missing.
That kind of gives you an idea where his mindset is.
Investigating. Good. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, being the business of the month of the chamber really means a lot to us for both, not only your membership, but your partnership and what y'all do for the chamber. So tell me a little bit about what you get out of your chamber membership.
So a little bit of what I get out of the chamber membership. I am an ambassador team lead. I've been an ambassador for the last 3 years, and those relationships that I've built with other business owners and other business persons within that group of individuals has really helped me in forming a lot of my thoughts on business. I wasn't a business person. Still don't consider myself a deep business person. I'm a researcher. And that's where my mind most of the time goes and my heart goes, and I have to force myself onto the business side. And so the relationships that I've built with those individuals that are chamber members, that are ambassadors, has really helped me see things on a different perspective. And without that membership and without the chamber pulling these group of people together, I wouldn't have some of the perspectives I have today on business and the way I can change some things in my business to affect the outcome, or look at things different and remove myself back and say, hey, does this really affect? Is this a rabbit hole we want to go down? Is it not? Then it also gives me an opportunity to have a few people I can bounce little ideas off of. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What's going on here? And then with the ambassador, being a member of the ambassadors, I get to meet lots of new businesses and old businesses and help celebrate their milestones, whether it's a ribbon cutting for a grand opening, or a ribbon cutting for an anniversary, ribbon cutting for any special occasion. I get to be there with those businesses and help support them and show them that that the business community is there helping to support them.
Wow, that's a great testimony for both being a volunteer as well as an ambassador of the chamber. And Cheryl, I know it's being the face of TPR, it's important for him to be able to get out there and develop those relationships, but that allows you the opportunity, obviously, to get everything done behind the scenes. And everybody that has met Carrie obviously appreciates both Tierras, Planas Roasters as well as Carrie. So it's a great opportunity. So thank you very much for what y'all do for the chamber.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
And we appreciate this opportunity for Cheryl and Carrie Mayfield to be here with us from Tierras, Planas Roasters, our business of the month. We want to both congratulate them as well as thank them again very much for their membership with the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.